Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to these are going to be my Futureshock Underground 1 thoughts. An interesting show. Oh, yes, because this was a new venue in Prestwich, very top of Manchester. For those who don't know, I went to a show last year, a charity show, which was not even 2 minutes walk away from this venue, which is interesting. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of really good things about this venue, that you're really going to love this venue. And, yeah, okay, we'll love the venue. Okay, when we get there, as the first one there, an unusual thing happened to me tonight, right? Because normally, I normally have seats reserved. Front row seats are always reserved at Futureshock shows, and for this show, I didn't have reserved seats. So I thought, well, I've got to get there early. I want to get a decent show. This sounds like they've sold a lot of tickets for this one. I want to make sure I'm right at the front of the queue. And I was the very first person in the queue. Happy days. And sort of poked my head through the door. I'm like, oh, sort of thing. Like, sort of looking around. It's got a sort of vaulted ceiling, and you're like. I just sort of looked around and went, if they can fill this, the acoustics in here are going to be fucking marvellous. So, went and got some seats, and then was told that I've been upgraded to the front row. I was like, it's good to be me sometimes. I like that. That was wonderful. Thank you very much to Future Management for that. I'm very happy with that. And then it started to fill up, and then it started to fill up some more, and then it started to really fill up. And one moment I turned around, right, and we were sat in the front row, and I think there was 3 rows of seats behind me. I think there may have been 4 actually, and there was no one sat behind me. And then I did some talking, turned around, and all the seats behind me were full. All of them, not a single one left, right? And then I noticed that they were wheeling more chairs in, and you're like, and then they were wheeling some more chairs in, and some more chairs in, and then bringing benches in, and then someone told me that there wasn't any seats in the building left, and you're like, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. All told, I've heard that there were 500 people there. Biggest crowd ever for a Futureshock show, and a legitimate, honest-to-God sellout. Round of applause for everyone for that. That is unbelievable. I'm so chuffed and so proud that I was there for this show. An interesting show. I thought to myself, I said to the guys, like, if this is just an alright show, and these guys, if this crowd are enthusiastic, this is going to be a magic night. And the crowd were red hot the whole night. But they were a different crowd to the usual Futureshock crowd. The reason for this is, I think very few of the Futureshock regulars were there. I spotted some people, but a lot of the people that we see week in, week out, month in, month out, or show on show, you can spot the same familiar faces at the Guildhall every time. And I didn't see very many of them there, so we didn't get to hear many of the chants that normally go around the Guildhall. But it wasn't a bad. Trust me, not a bad thing at all, not one bit. A good show, this one. A solid but unspectacular show is what I'm going to say to start off with before we go through the matches. Solid, unspectacular. Bear that in mind. Okay, so the opening contest was meant to be Josh Bowden versus Mark Massive. Josh Bowden has injured himself, unfortunately. He wasn't a great bear on Friday night, which was a fun little show. Just like I thought I'd mention that. Don't do reviews of shows that I work on as a rule, as I'm sure I know that's why I haven't done a great bear review. But yeah, Josh Bowden's injured, so he was replaced by Martin Kirby, which is one of those. Well, I'm not going to complain about that one, are you? He's like, oh no, there's very few people that aren't Cy Roberts who's going to go, oh no, not Martin bloody Kirby. He's probably the only person in that room went, oh, Martin Kirby, really? Everyone else like, fucking yeah, Martin Kirby. And this was a fun little match. The crowd were rabid for it, for everything. Absolutely everything that was done, they ate up with a spoon. Martin Kirby getting the win with a crucifix, and it was a fun little time. Next up, Justin Price came out and sang, and it was wonderful. The boy's got such a beautiful singing voice. And then a surprise, and this one was a surprise, and as 2 Dimension came out. Now, I haven't seen 2 Dimension for... Let's have a think. Now, I've thought about this on the way home, and as far as I can tell, the last time I saw 2 Dimension was in an 8-man tag team match at the International Super Show, which was last August. And it was good to see him. It was. Luke. Now, last time he was Luke Future, and I'm sorry if that's wrong, because I got told off for calling you that before, but I didn't catch what your name was, because it just says 2 Dimension on my screen. I'm taking the results from the Futureshock website, it just says 2 Dimension, so I'm sorry. But Luke has really bulked up, and he looks great for it. Looks really, really good. Played Face in Hell for a long, long time. Because anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2 I came out, interrupted Justin Price, said that they were rubbish, and then Melody Price got vexed, called out his security guards and security guards across the models. And I'm never going to complain the fact that models weren't advertised. I'm never going to complain about the fact that when you get a bonus match which has got the models in it. And models are awesome, and they do what they do, and Danny Hope shakes his tassels, and all the girls scream, and I'm sat there going, I'm having my sexuality confused about this. I'm not really, I'm joking, I'm not. Honest. Shit. Stop talking now. So, Luke plays facing hell for ages after Action Jack Clark had been knocked to the outside. He wasn't on wasn't there. He wasn't in the corner for ages. So Luke got bad. Hot tag to Luke and hot tag to Jack, sorry. And it's all good until, as far as I remember, he came off the top. It looked like he was going to go for a crossbody or something like that, but Danny Hope caught him and basically launched him up so that they could do the 3D on him. 1, 2, 3. Happy days. Models win. Yeah. Next up, Women's Championship match. Now, April Davids has issued 2 open challenges now, if I remember rightly. They've both been answered by Nikki Storm, and I would not have objected. I even said so on my predictions vid. I would not have objected to Nikki Storm one bit. But then this big girl comes out named Viper, and it was just like, oh, I like her. The moment she came out of the curtain, I like you. I want you to win. It was brilliant. And she was, it wasn't very long. I think it only went about 5 minutes, but it may have been longer, but I was so engrossed in it. These two girls beat the crap out of each other, really. I said to the guys when we went in that I really thought we were going to see a title change tonight, and I thought if any of the titles were going to change, I thought it'd be the women's one, just because April's been champion for over a year now. And she was out injured for quite a while, quite a bit of that, but I still thought, if they're going to, maybe just because it's a new audience, a title change mean the fans go home happy, don't they? So I thought I might see one here, but at the same time, I wouldn't object to it at all. I was never going to object to April retaining. But these two girls battered each other, really did. Viper looks great. She wears contact lenses that are snake eyes, which is just like, oh, that's a nice little touch that I'm always going to mark out for you, sort of thing. Yeah, good match. April Davids won with the most ridiculous side suplex. Absolutely fantastic manoeuvre. And then, last match before the intermission, the Blackpool Blondes defending and retaining their championships against Notorious B.A.D. in a fun little match. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I mean, Blondes came out with new music. They came out with the Raw theme music. You remember the Raw theme music that the Union Underground did back in 2002? Don't like that. I've got to say that. I like the Blackpool Blondes theme. I don't know what happened there, but that's just me again. You see, and I wasn't going to mention Sam Bailey's botch that he did, but he came and mocked me about it after the show. So no, I'm still not. So I don't care. I didn't notice it. Honest to God, didn't notice that when you slipped off the ropes. Honest, didn't notice you botched whatsoever. Oh dear me. And then intermission. I went outside because the thing is, this room, because it was so full, it was so hot in there. And this is maybe it's a gripe, a nitpick, whatever you want. But if there's one thing I will come away, if there's any negatives I will take away from this show, it's the knowledge that the next one there is in August, and oh my, we're going to bake in there. They're going to need to have some fans in there or the doors open or something. I couldn't wait for. That sounds harsh. I was going to say I couldn't wait for the match to finish between the BAD and the Blondes. Because I wanted some air. That's not fair on them. I enjoyed their match a great deal. I really did. I really genuinely did. It's good to see James Drake coming out as James Drake now, because he's been James Drake and JD Sassoon in various places. And it's interesting. I haven't seen Shawn Daniels' heel work in GPW recently. It's I want to see more of that sort of thing. And I don't know. I don't know. I want to see Sam work as heel as well, because I don't see it enough. He does it up in NGW as part of Team GB, and I just can't get that far. And I can't guarantee that I can get to Infinite every time to see him work heel, so I want to see him work heel. Turn heel, Sam. Turn heel on Sean. You always cost him in the matches, yada yada yada. Nice and simple. Went outside, got some fresh air, had talks with various people, got a DVD. Front of the DVD for 65, can I just say, it's fucking genius. Because it was a Lotto Thunder tournament, there was 8 guys in it. All 8 guys on the front of the cover have got the title belt, and it's like, that's a nice little touch. That's very good. Listen, the moment this vid's finished, I'm going to go watch my 65 DVD. I'm really looking forward to it. So, 3 more matches. In the first match after the intermission, we had Dave Rain defeating Ryan Bowden, who was making his debut in the match. Ryan, I've known since 2009. I said this on my predictions vid, and I promised him the day he made his Futureshock debut, I didn't care where it was, I would be there. And until Thursday this week, I was not going to this show, and I knew I have to be there so I can support Ryan. It's that fucking simple with this. And I said on my predictions vid, I was really hoping this wasn't going to be a squash, and it wasn't. Ryan looked like a natural. He looked like a natural. It's that simple. And I was so happy. And the guy, he's got a great look. He's got dreadlocks. Not as good as mine, sorry, but they're not. The man is 11 years old. His aren't. That's why. But he looked good. Dave Rain was Dave Rain, and what I mean by that is he put on the you're gonna get a good match, and it's solid, unspectacular. You know what I mean? He did the craziest thing though. At one point, he went to the outside. And he got a couple, at least I hope it was a couple, of Pringles from a girl. And then in something I don't think I've ever seen in a match ever, slammed them into Ryan's back. Now, I don't know much about anything, but I know that when you snap a Pringle in half, it leaves a point. So I guess this is why I'm saying that it was more than one. He smashed them, and they went into, and Ryan sold them. So I'm gonna guess they must have hurt. They went into either that, or he's just that much of a pro that he didn't want to not sell him, or he didn't want to get in trouble. I don't know. But that was funny stuff. That was genuinely funny stuff. A low blow and a deviate get the win for Dave Rain, which means, of course, he has both victories over both brothers, which is fun. And then an 8-man tag team match. I've spoken to a couple of people after the show, and they said this was their favourite match of the night. 8-man tag was 3 debuts in this one, as Reynaldo Cy Valor, who's standing in for DDL, Joe Vega and Sir Reginald Smedley III defeated Xander Cooper, Nordic Warrior, Dan Evans, and Don Micho. All 3 of the debutants in this one were fantastic. Let's talk about Don Micho. Had a bit of a spar with Cy Valor. Now, Cy Valor's known for being one of the hardest hitting guys in the industry, and some of the punches and some of the lariats that he hit were wow. I mean, I think your average person would be on the back. Don Micho, though, really fucking gave it just as good as he got, and that was brilliant, and it was really great to see him in the ring. Joe Vega looked impressive. He hit the sliced bread to get the win in this match, as far as I remember, and that looked very good. Sir Reginald Smedley, wow, wearing a mask, wearing a top hat. The mask has got a monocle on it. It's like, just straight away, as soon as he came out, I was like, I want to see more of him immediately. I don't care what he does in this ring. He came out, he shook hands. He sat there a whole time waiting for his tag like this. waiting, all stiff and waiting for the tag. Superb stuff. And everything in this match was good. Simon Valor is a guy that I've often said I haven't really worn to as a wrestler, like him as a manager, but not to as a wrestler. This match was great. It was brilliant. Every single man in this match was top notch. Everyone did exactly what they needed to do. And I loved it. It was the classic Futureshock 8-man tag. They didn't do bad 8-man tag match. Reynaldo especially was looking on form. Xander Cooper, the man for all seasons, apart from Autumn, looked fantastic. And a genuinely good match. Like I say, sliced bread by Joe Vega getting the win. And then main event time, because I didn't take part in the raffle because I didn't see the point. Cyanide retaining the Futureshock Championship in a really, really good and heated match with Zach Diamond Gibson. I was worried about this match. I'll tell you why I was worried about this match. This match needed to have a decent main event atmosphere to it, and you're talking to a crowd who, realistically, probably know who Zach Diamond Gibson is. They might have seen Cyanide in this, is it today's Manchester Evening newspaper? They might have seen him there. Zach, on the other hand, I mean, he's from Liverpool, for goodness sake. He comes out, is announced from Liverpool, and gets booed straight away. So, I was worried about that one. There was some near falls in this one, though, that were proper close. And the crowd really got into the near falls. Chris Egan on the outside was his usual brilliant self. I've got a big issue with Chris Egan. And it's not like, I'm not saying it's an issue. That's something that bothers me. It's that I've said a couple of times on my vids recently, I really want to be a heel manager. Really, really do. At some point in a few years, it's something I'd really love to give a try. And I find myself watching Chris the whole match. I've got one eye on the match and one eye is always on Chris. It's the same when Melanie Price is out on ringside. I watch her the whole time. I'm sat there watching like this sort of thing with my eyes. Because at the one hand, I'm watching everything they do because their crowd interaction is just spot on. And it's like, I just want to watch them. I want to learn off them. But at the same time, I'm obviously completely focused on the match. And Chris eventually got sent to the back, and Zach Gibson hit a superplex on Cyanide, which was absolutely amazing. And then Chris Egan came back after the referee got bumped. Chris Egan came back, took a live driver, but then Zach fell to the choke bomb and a big splash. It was all good. Yeah, and that was So this is what I'm going to say is that none of these matches were, oh my god, you've just missed the best match I've ever seen in my life. None of them, not one. But there was not a single bad match on this card. Not one. Not one. I had a fantastic night tonight. I really am looking forward to going back there. I'm so chuffed for Futureshock to have so many people there. And so to tell one thing that came away from me tonight more than anything is that so many people said, why go back to the Guildhall? After all this, why even bother going back to the Guildhall? And it's like, I can completely see where they're coming from. I don't think that would be right at all. The Guildhall's been their home for the 9 years they've existed. Why would they not go back there? It's a different atmosphere, a different vibe. Those same familiar faces that are there every time make it a great night out, you know. This was a great night out for completely different reasons, you know. I'm sure there's a lot of people in this venue tonight that was their first wrestling show. I would say 90% of the audience have never been to a Futureshock show before, which is just fantastic. It's good for the industry as a whole. My fears about the oversaturation of the market continue. I genuinely that's never going to go away. But yeah, this was a good idea. And when I heard the idea at first, it was like, why? But I mean, it's warmed to it. I've grown to it. I'll hope on the next Underground show there's more of the trainees, half and half of established guys and trainees is what I'd like to see. And I'd like also the Underground show to develop their own sort of vibe, which is what they've done tonight, which is brilliant. I'd like them. Max put it best. He said about the way our NXT has different storylines, the same people as WWE, different storylines. I'd like that, you know. That's what I'd like to see from the Underground going forward. This was a good night. I had a good time. And yeah, I'm sorry, can't recommend it enough. Genuinely. And the best part for little old me here is that in 2 weeks tomorrow there's another Futureshock show. Never ever find me complaining. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Mark P. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that like button if you haven't. We were at the show. Let me know down here. Were you one of the wrestlers? What did you think of the show? Since so many of you have told me tonight that you're looking forward to watching my vid. Oh dear me. Oh, you people must have nothing better to do, must you? Because I wouldn't watch this piece of shit. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Take it easy, guys.